So I had a mentor as well, and she ended up switching her name back to her like maiden name because everything that she was
Sudsbury.
that's why everything that everything that she was successful on, she wanted her name on it.
What? That's
like
me.
And I'm like, I feel that like that's actually really cool that women have that mindset and they don't think I have to be married to be successful, right?
The thing is I told Lewis that I want to do that because I'm the one who got my degrees. I want my name on my doctorate.
Yeah.
I don't want yours. I'm sorry. I feel like our son has your last name and our children will have your last name.
Children.
So, we want another one. So
Natasha.
We'll move forward on that eventually.
God bless the
world. But my thing is it's like, okay, you already get that. Why should I have to let go of my name? My other thing is my like last name is already fucked up because of my dad.
Okay.
So like it's just not tied to a very good.
So what's on your degrees? Like
my last name.
Your last name.
Yeah. So like Sudsbury is on there, but what I mean is like in Maine where I grew up, like everyone who knows that last name is because of my dad, and it's not for good reasons.
Yeah, so it has like all those negative ties to it.
And so like now me and my sisters, like we have, we've all have degrees. Like they both have bachelors. Wow. I just finished my master's and I'm applying to a doctorate in business entrepreneurship. That's awesome. That starts in fall of 2026. So I was like, Dr. Garcia just ain't it, Lewis. Yeah, I'm sorry. No. And honestly, he's for it. So he's like, I'll on the marriage certificate, like it says Natasha Garcia. However, I'm not going by that. Yeah. And I don't have to. So.
And period. That's what it is. That's what it is. But also in turn, right? That you have a husband that is like, cool. Like, that's all right.
I seen, it was a podcast clip and someone said, why don't we just take the cooler of the two last names? Like, why does it always have to be
paper, rock, scissors?
Well, why does it always have to be the men's last name? And obviously it's because back in the day, like you carried on the family name. Yeah. But I feel like that only matters when it comes to your kids. In terms of like when you get married, why did we all just suddenly be like, yeah, I'll take your last name?
Yeah. I just don't think it's a big thing how it was back then,
Well, because it doesn't really matter now because now family names aren't like who make or break you in society.
Yeah. Well, it's good that it doesn't matter because there's a lot of women nowadays that are successful as hell. And I want my last name on all the success that like I encounter. I'm Vaquera-Camacho, but like I want the things I worked hard for.
Yeah. You want to be represented.
And exactly. And that's all I think it's great that we have husbands that are like, cool, that's not like a big deal to me. Like that's not, I'm not going to take it personal. Right. Yeah.
He was like, I don't know why more men don't take the woman's last name. If it's a cooler last name. And honestly, like with mine, I don't know any other Sudsburys. So if you search me, except my family, obviously. Yeah. So if you search me, like you're going to find me. Mm-hmm. But if you search Garcia.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
I'm going to get lost in the sauce. Yeah. Like, which one are you?
Look up Vaquera. You'll probably just find me and my siblings, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. And then, but it's still tied to you.
Camacho, you'll find like a billion of them, like just like tons of them. But, like I said, I want
and even my like success. My mom's last name is Alexander because I have my dad's last name, but my mom's last name is Alexander, and that is so common too. So in a way, I'm glad that I have his last name. Yeah, because I really don't know any other person with my last name that's not related to
your two personalities.
So, my siblings, and that's about it. Like, let me tell you, but. Yeah, we'll just make Lewis figure this out.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm just kind of going with it. So
yeah, and I mean that's really all. Like that's why I started it. Really, is like it's my source of therapy. Mm-hmm. It's my source of like getting to be social with other like-minded women for right now. I will eventually like talk to male entrepreneurs or male business owners, but right now like my focus is on women. And it really is just because I feel like we are underrepresented and not given a lot of platform or opportunity. So like that's where the group comes from. That's where this comes from. That's where like my focus comes from. And then my other focus is in like, so I have the women's group.
Yeah.
but I'm working on, my goal is I want it to be like a program where the women business owners become mentors of kid entrepreneurs in the area.
Oh, I love that.
And so instead of like, because my women's market was already stolen, but also there's a million women's markets. Exactly. And I know that there's some kids markets too, and there's a million markets.
Yep.
But what they don't have is this. I want to, I'm working on partnering with local schools, especially like the new one that just opened. I know they have a business entrepreneurship class in the high school.
Do they?
Yeah.
Wow,
which is really cool. I wish
amazing.
That was, it is.
I wish that was
you wish we had
when
that,
I was
right?
in high school, right?
And so that's kind of what I want to do is that's something I wanted to bring into schools is like an entrepreneurship that shows kids, hey, you don't always have to pick the 9-to-5 route. You don't have to graduate and then go immediately get a job because that is a problem. And not a lot of kids want to do that. So that's why not a lot of kids care about school. But if you were to really show them like, hey, here's how you start an LLC. Here's the right way to do it. Here's how you do your taxes. Here's how XYZ. All the things we had to learn ourselves as adults and we're still learning, kind of give them that layout. But what I want to do with the kids market is however often, and obviously would be a work in progress, but eventually I would want it to bridge into a college program that would be entrepreneurship.
That's like amazing, especially for children.
And that's really what I want. So to backtrack a little bit, plan is for us to take Quirks and Connections into a nonprofit. Yeah, that will be our goal. We're just kind of working on rebuilding things right now.
What if you make like the name of this idea Empower? Because that's what you're doing. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're empowering not just women.
For the program, you mean?
Yeah.
I could.
Like that's big. Like that.
Because I want to start a club. Yeah. And those things.
Empower is just like point blank what you're offering to these children, eventually women, and I think it surpasses what Quirks and Connections is, because you are just empowering women to do powerful things.
Right.
And
so to touch back on the mentorship part, I want like the people that that I've vetted, that I've grown this group with, that I know, that I trust, that I love, to become a mentor to whatever child they think they would fit best with. And what I want them to do is, it would kind of be like Big Brother, Big Sister, but entrepreneurship focused. And what I would want is, so say you had like a 14-year-old. Yeah. And their business was something similar to yours. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be, but product-based business. We'll go there. You would then sit down with them, help them advertise on their social media, help them set up a social media, help them market, help them price point, help them do all of the things we had to figure out on ourselves. Yeah. Help them set up QuickBooks, help them set up payment, help them set up all of these things so that they're not having to do it on their own. So that when they do turn 18, they do graduate, they have a successful business. Yep. They have a layout, they have a foundation. And that's what they're missing.
Don't hand them a car, hand them a business, something that they can like go forward with, right? That's amazing.
And that's why more and more people are homeschooling their kids, because they're able to sit at home and teach them these things. But why not bring it into the public school system as well?
Exactly.
So if I have the ability and the opportunity to, that's kind of like where I want to go whole mission wise. Other reasons that her and I don't agree. Exactly. Hers is more like a social drinking club focus. Yeah. And I get that. People need their social time. And, sometimes people want to just go unwind on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and get drunk. That's cool. That's just
more
not
like
for
a
me.
girls' night is what it is advertised, at least from an outside perspective, not knowing the inside or stepping foot in it. If I was to see an advertisement for it on social media, that's what I would think. Oh, it's a girls' night.
Yeah. And that's honestly from being there, I drank at maybe 1 or 2 events. I'm not, especially my generation is really going away from drinking. Yeah. It's not our focus. And also, which I love, especially with everything going on in terms of the health aspect of the world right now. And I fall right into that. And then I just told you, we want to grow our family as well. I'm not about to be sitting at a environment with a bunch of drunk people while I'm pregnant. Yeah. And I understand why other pregnant, postpartum, or like breastfeeding women wouldn't want to be in that environment either, or recovering alcoholics or people who just can't be around
but drinking. You also, with what you're trying to do, it's a pivot. in the stages of life that you're in.
Oh,
whether
100%.
it is you are expecting, you get to, like somebody once told me, because I'm in the era where I'm focusing on my health and my fitness. Yeah. And one of my fitness mentors told me, you're not going to go to a Burger King expecting to find your next gym partner, right? So I'm like, with that, you place yourself, right? Yeah. You place yourself in areas, you place yourself in these situations, experiences where you're going to get to meet those like-minded people. Right?
100%.
So with that pivot that you're wanting to make this mission, you know, about is even when you say you and Louis want to expand your family.
Yeah.
You can't go to these connections where they're drinking and then people take you serious, right?
Well, then you just shouldn't do business drinking.
Exactly.
You really shouldn't. Once in a while, yeah. Okay, I get it. Like at a holiday party or something like that. But honestly, my whole goal behind this was, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a business, right? But I still want people to benefit out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't want the benefit to be social hour and getting drunk.
Exactly.
I want the benefit to be something tangible that you can take away. Right. That you can take away and you can actually apply to your life, to your business that day, instead of just showing up and
drinking.
Yeah, feeling good in the moment.
Yeah.
Like I want you to feel good further down the line.
It's more like a unwinding, like you're getting off of work. Let's unwind because it was a stressful day or a busy day, which of course you're going to encounter when it's a entrepreneurship, right? Like that's one of those things, right?
Comes with the territory. Yeah.
Exactly. For the lack of a better statement, it comes with the territory. But you want to be aware and you want to get the most productivity out of it, right? Because you're making these connections, you're networking to get ahead, not to stay stagnant, drinking and kind of like be in the moment kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
So.
And honestly, one of the biggest disagreements that we had was she didn't want to run it as a business. And I did. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, community service is great. But every single nonprofit out there is run like a business. If you have a successful nonprofit, it makes money.
Yeah.
Because how do you think the people who run it get paid?
Exactly.
And I mean, that's just the cold, hard truth. But at the end of the day, we're businesswomen. We are people of business. So if you can't understand that and if you are really just that ignorant to the fact that you think charities aren't businesses or those types of things, then you really just need to take a long, hard look in the mirror because like that's a realization you need to make. And I mean, it is what it is. It's not like I'm out here pocketing money or whatever. Like I actually am taking huge loss right now, like because I pay for everything.
Yeah.
But
you're taking that risk, not that loss. It's a risk that you're taking so that you can get, because your dream for this, the long-term goal for it is to make it big where you can start profiting off of it.
And I'll even take it a step further and say that it's a very calculated risk.
Exactly.
Because I do very
you have
much
that
believe
vision.
in the vision.
Yep.
And I know that it will be successful. It just sucks right now.
Yep. And sometimes we have to, and I really wish there were more platforms and more people willing to talk about those sucky parts of business.
Don't worry, we got one right here.
Yeah, exactly. Boom. You know, but like I really, and that's why I was excited when you sent me that questionnaire and when you were asking, you said it was going to be a very like go with the flow kind of thing and see where it takes us. But I'm glad we're having the conversation because I think in a lot of businesses, they just focus on the success, and that's where they're at right now. They're successful because of all those successes, but nobody talks about the sucky parts. Nobody talks about the business breakups. Nobody talks about like the yucky feelings and the risk that you take. And I can't say losses because when you become successful, those weren't really losses, you know, but I'm glad that we're having the conversation because nobody talks about these yucky parts of business.
Well, we just will. We'll talk all about it. But I don't like that.
No,
but before we get any further, I guess we should introduce you. Maybe.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So this is Laura, everyone. But I just wanted to say welcome back to the Natasha Effect. And today I have someone, her name is Laura Camacho, and she does more than she lets on, I think. I mean, she's a mom, she's a wife, a business owner, a true entrepreneur. And so I would even say we met when I moved in, and I just felt like we immediately clicked. I feel like we had a lot in common.
Yes.
And so I want to ask you the day-old question. If someone doesn't know Laura and they come up to you and they're like,
she's a mess.
What is it that they come up to you and say? Like, if they're like, who is Laura?
Yeah.
What does Laura do?
Man, well, my name is Laura, and I am like the owner of Sippers, and I really like, nobody's ever asked me that question to my face, like I said in that questionnaire, you know, like, so I was in the mirror practicing who's Laura, you know, but it's like, I know it, it's just putting it in like the actual words, you know, and going back to like how I was introduced, right? I'm Laura Vaquera, because this is my success, you know? Like Laura Vaquera-Camacho, but Laura Vaquera for short, I guess.
For sure.
You know? Yeah, like for sure.
That's longer. You know that, right?
I do.
She's like, for short, but I'll give you the long version.
For sure, but real, it's longer. But no, I'm the owner of Sippers, and I'm trying to grow this small business of mine and pivot where life has taken me, you know, because life is gonna life no matter what.
Life is life.
Yeah, Laura, owner of Sippers, mom of 4, now, you know, wife to an amazing husband. But
we won't tell him.
Yeah, we won't tell him.
We can't let their heads get too big, okay?
Yeah, exactly. No, but yeah, I run a small tea business. They're energy teas. And it's goes hand in hand with people who are focusing on their health or haven't even started focusing on their health but want to make those small steps to do so.
Yeah.
And for the moms out there that are like running around with these crazy feral kids, right? That need
fumes.
that exactly that need that energy boost, but don't want to deal with a crash later. It's much cleaner energy. Yeah, let me grab mine too.
Well, girl, I was just thirsty, but see.
No, but yeah, that's what it is. I've been trying to grow it. I've been dealing with like the business setbacks. I've been dealing with expecting pregnancies, you know, hospital visits, and just everything life has to offer. But we pivot as women. We pivot and we make it happen, just like everything else that we put our hats on to do.
So it's crazy because when I was going through your responses of the questionnaire, I feel like people are honest, but no one was ever honest in that who are you question.
Yeah.
And so when you were like, I don't know.
Yeah. Who am I?
She's like, I don't know, but I'm building it.
Yeah.
And so I actually really love that because I feel like as women, as entrepreneurs, as anybody, we feel so much pressure to just have that perfect elevator pitch, that perfect one-liner.
Yeah.
But I myself, like in the past year, we'll say 2 years, I've pivoted my business. I couldn't even tell you how many times.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I just recorded a national TV show in May.
Wow.
And that's not even my business anymore. So the main mission and the focus is the same, but actually that boot camp, that entrepreneurship boot camp really helped me pinpoint what it is that I wanted to do.
Experiences.
And so I feel like people get so attached to the idea of like what they want their business to be, but you have to be real with yourself. Okay, what is it? And what am I trying to do?
Yeah.
And so I think that your answer perfectly is like,
and I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, I'll probably be like, I'll introduce myself differently a month or 2 from now because I'll be super successful and have made it, you know, like I think as women, as moms, as entrepreneurs, we wear many hats. And with that, we've always been told a specific way of how we have to look or be outlined to have made it. And we always have to be perfect and just everything, you know, we have to be everything all at once. And it's many hats that we wear. So when I was asked that question, I was in a completely different stage, a completely different pivot in my life. Yeah, I did not know what hat I was wearing. But today I'm wearing the Sippers hat, everybody.
It's a cute hat. I really actually like it.
Thanks. I actually have a friend who's an entrepreneur and she embroiders hats. Yeah. And I am always one to support a small business because I'm one myself, you know?
I literally I guess I'm in my hat era. Lewis told me I look like a soccer mom. No, so it's funny, I was like, I'm actually channeling my inner mom.
Exactly. So. I always thought I had a big head for like a hat, you know? And I'm like, no, I'm going to wear the damn hat.
Opposite. I always thought I had a super small hat.
No, you have a cute head.
But I do have a small head because this is a youth hat.
Yeah. So. It's Ezra's hat.
Stop. He does take it though, and then he'll have like Lewis's hat, and his hat is like, you're gonna laugh so hard. So Lewis was, on his social media, and he made a video because he also is in his hat era. We'll say,
copy.
Well, it's my fault because he put the hat on, and I was like, wow, that gave you like 2 points because he hadn't had a haircut, so you look good,
Yeah,
but he's got a big head. It's not a secret.
Gave you 2 points.
And so the little like thing where you change the size of the hat, like how on theirs it's the clip, the snaps. That thing was holding on for dear life. And I didn't even point that out. Someone on TikTok commented, was like, yo, that hat holding on for dear life.
The internet always wins. Oh my God.
I was like, hold on, I didn't even notice. And so I'm like, wow, you need a bigger hat. He was like, it shrunk.
But we never washed it at all.
So that just made me laugh. So I guess we're all in our hat era.
We are.
But that led me to say I want one of those hats because I think it's cute.
One of these?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I do want one. Anyway.
I have them in my car.
She's like, I'm a walking salesman.
But you have to. And that's what I've learned. Listen, I've learned that we are our biggest advertisements.
Yeah.
The way you dress, the way, like, you are your biggest advertisement. Yes. And that was the first thing I saw when I walked in, which is cute. It's cute.
Lewis made fun of me. He was like, what do you think, you're a brand now?
He's jealous. Yes, I do. He doesn't have anything that says Lewis on it. But we are walking advertisements, right? 100%. And with everything that we are, we also have to be like mentally there, right? We have to be like, we have to look or act sane so that way. But with that, we are walking advertisements, and I think I wear this hat proudly. I think you should make a Corks and Connections hat.
I was just thinking that. I really do think that would be really cute.
Yeah.
I'm in my...
it's a conversation starter.
It is for sure. And that's kind of one of the reasons I went towards the shirts. I was like, okay, it's long sleeve. Like, fall's coming up. I think it would be cute if we all wore them to one of the events. Yeah. Like, XYZ, whatever it turns
Every
into.
one of my kids and my husband has one. Everybody's in little walking advertisement. Unpaid advertising.
Unpaid. Free advertising.
But no, hats. It's like the thing right now. You put your logo on it and it's a conversation starter. People are like, oh, a cute hat. What is that? Exactly. Tell me about it. And it's a big connect. It's just the biggest like neck-reading thing that you could like do. And it looks cute. So...
bonus. Yeah, I just told Lewis, I was like,
I'll get you in connection with my hat later.
Okay. Something I want to do is learn to golf. And the reason is I feel like it's a really huge missed opportunity for females to network. Because it's a business game.
Yeah.
But it's male heavy. Yes, there are female golfers, but it's very male saturated.
Like that.
And exactly. So I was just in contact with someone, and I'm about to take lessons because I want to learn. The outfits are just cute. Why don't more women golf?
You would look so hot in a golfing outfit.
So that brought me to like, maybe I should do a Corks and Connections like visor. Because I like super cute.
I want
golf.
one. Sign me up. I'll go take lessons with you, and Sippers will be out there. So
I told Lewis, and so I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to sign up for golf because then it also gives me like my thing. I played sports all through high school, college.
What sports?
Softball, cheer, and volleyball.
Oh, that's too much. But you look it. Like, you look like...
I cheered since I was 3. Like, I've been in gymnastics and cheer.
Pull over pictures.
I cheered all the way through college.
That's amazing.
And so I cheered at a D2 college, and I played softball up until college, and then I tore my subscapularis, so that's one of your rotator cuff muscles.
Kind of life told you.
And they were like, "Oh, pick a new position." I was like, "No." So I kind of gave it all to my other sport, which was volleyball. Volleyball I didn't really play growing up.
Yeah.
I just had the height for it and was good at it. And so
you should really like think about doing that for Quirks and Connections as well, or like the platform that you want to build for women. Just do a sports day, like do these things. What's that thing? It's not tennis, it's the other pickleball. That's what I've been wanting to try.
I had to teach I taught for a year like the 6th and 7th graders at
pickleball.
No, I taught, but I was going to say I taught PE, and pickleball is in the curriculum. Listen, kids are honest. Yeah. Kids are honest. And so they're like, "Why are we playing this old people sport?"
That's cute.
I'm like, "Look, you might thank me one day."
Yeah. But now look at it.
But it was, it's super popular. It was cool because I had only seen it when I was deployed in 2020. Yeah, 2020. People were playing it over there. But other soldiers, but I had never really, it wasn't huge. This is a new
I've
thing.
never heard of it till it became the hype, apparently.
Yeah,
like, it's
and
one
so,
of those things.
We would go out, throw it around, play with them. I sucked. They were right. This is an older people sport. I think they were all good at it. But so then when I came back and I was teaching, it was in the curriculum. So I'm like, wow, this must be like a popular sport. And then now I'm seeing like teams populate everywhere. I go to the Y, and at the Y, they have like a team.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what's going on? Did I miss a memo?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a cross between tennis and ping pong.
I've heard. Yeah.
And so it's not difficult. It's just like, once you know the rules, but it is fun.
I can barely walk and talk right now. So I would hate to see me be a paddle is what they use. Pickleball
and
paddle.
Like different types of balls. They're like, they're like a cross between, I swear, a tennis ball and a ping pong ball. They're like smaller and lighter.
You should do a Quirks and Connections on a pickleball court.
I don't know. I think it would be really fun,
do mini golf. Mini golf is...
Oh, see, I can do that.
Nobody will get
everyone
hurt.
Knows how to do
sign
that.
waivers.
We sign waivers. No. If Laura hits you with this club because she loses, it's not my problem. I'm just kidding.
Yes, I have an issue. No, I'm joking.
No,
team players, team winners. Everybody's a winner.
Yeah. I am a sore loser, though, so.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think it's what makes me better, though. I'm so competitive.
You, like, jump in front of, like, the people so they don't, like...
Maybe not in mini golf. I just mean in sport. Like, I've played sports my whole life, so I'm a very competitive person. And that didn't just stop in sports. It was through education, through relationships, through anything I do.
Applicable everywhere.
And it was just, I don't... What's that movie? They always, if you're not first, you're last.
Oh my gosh, I'm horrible with movies. I couldn't.
What is it?
Where's Lewis? He come through the door. It was this.
What are you good for?
Is it like dodgeball?
No.
I feel like
now I have to look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up.
It's gonna bother me.
ChatGPT it.
If it, you and Lewis with this ChatGPT.
That's bestie.
If
my
you're
bestie.
Not first.
Oh, is it the one with Will Ferrell?
Yes, Talladega Nights.
Yeah, there you go. See, I almost had it.
Oh,
it came to me like
I already looked it up
when you insulted my bestie.
But yeah, that if you're not first, you're last, and I wholeheartedly feel that.
But it's kind of like the mindset you have to have because you never know who you're in a room with, right? Mm-hmm. Like the people you think are with you will leave you last while they become first.
Yeah, everyone's always trying to step on everybody else to get ahead.
It's horrible because I wish it was more people helping people with the genuine, like, intention.
Yeah, add that part in there.
Genuine intention of getting you further, not just for clout, like the youngsters will say, right? Did I use that right? My son is probably going to listen to this and be like, Mom, stop.
Mom, no, you did not.
Stop, Mom. He's probably texting me right now. Let me check. Like, this is life, right?
No, they have their own lingo. When I was teaching these 6th and 7th graders, I'm like, you don't have to give me a dictionary for all y'all's words.
Yeah. Seriously, and they do.
You pick up on it, though. I mean, being around it every single day. You kind of have to, or you're just going to be lost.
I have to share. I had made dinner, right? We were sitting at the dinner table. 12-year-old son loved it, apparently. I think the word cook is like a good word, right? Is it? He's like, Mom, you cooked.
Or you ate with this?
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I did cook it. And he goes, no, Mom, you cooked. And I'm like, Abraham, I cooked this.
She's like, okay, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Like, you know
yes,
what?
I cooked.
He's like, Mom, never mind. And
That's
I'm like,
funny.
am I missing something here? And then later I saw it on Facebook and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's why let her cook. Like, let her cook.
Sure.
They say that all the time. She's like, I hate kids.
That sounds very sexist. But, like, we're just going to.
She's like,
we're just going to let it cook.
I like it. I think their new lingo is very, like,
cute.
Some of it is, I'm like, why? Just, this is awful. But some of it is very cute.
Okay, tell me. Like, let me entertain this.
She's like,
I've heard of
judge me.
Ate.
Okay.
Right? Is
yeah,
that a
she
thing?
ate. Yeah, I mean, like, they don't really say that anymore. Like, they'll be like, oh,
you're like, Laura, that was
she ate and they left no crumbs. I mean, you look good. Like, oh, she ate that up. You look good. She's like, what?
Okay. I'm going to call my son after this and be like, Abraham.
But I'm saying they don't.
I ate that podcast.
I mean, yeah, you could.
Is that a thing? Yeah, I could, right? I ate that podcast. That makes no sense.
I'm screaming.
Is that right? Like, would you be like, Mom, I'm going to hang up on you right now?
No, it makes sense. I'm just saying that it's not, their vocabulary changes so fast. So it's like something could be in 1 week. And then the next week it's like,
why do they need language arts?
I have
right?
They're making their own art of language. Let me tell you.
Apparently so.
Let me see.
Are you looking these words up? You're texting Lewis.
No, I'm pulling up my notes. Oh. I told you I had to keep my notes. So let's see what I got left in here. I remember what's something that, because he just taught 4th grade too, and he would come home saying God knows what.
In 4th grade?
Yes, in 4th grade.
Maybe they were just learning the words.
I promise
it inappropriately.
I promise you they were not just learning these words. But like one thing they always say that they talk about now, it's a lot of, how did Lewis put it? It's a lot of gamer language. So a lot of it
makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of it can be associated with like gaming.
Okay.
And so like one is huge aura points for that or something along those lines, and that just means like, okay, like you're doing good, huge, good for you. Aura points, yeah, which I guess you could use context clues and figure it out.
Yeah,
but it's like, why? And then that whole thing with, I'm sure you heard it, freaking, this used to drive me nuts, the skibbity toilet stuff and all that. I'm like, why? Those are the ones I'm like, why? Just why does this exist? I
think that came out of Abraham's.
It came out of his mouth.
That, and there was another one that just grinded my gears. What was it? It was something silly, and it made no sense. Like, I couldn't even use the context for it to make it make sense.
Is it like the like sigma and alpha and beta?
Yes, my niece and...
They had to break that down for you.
That's so sigma. I mean, that's probably not even the way they used it, but I'm like, what?
They're like, oh, you're so sigma, or you're
yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that. And I'm going to sit down and have a talk with your mom. And I'm going to have a talk with myself if my kid's like going to be like talking like this. But yeah, no, it's crazy. These words that they come up with, like, that wasn't a thing when, not that I'm like old, right? But like, it wasn't a thing when I was in high school. Like, people actually had like
real words. Yeah.
real words.
But don't get me wrong. We had our own slang, but ours just seemed to make more sense. You didn't have, theirs is more creative.
Yeah. Let's take it back though. What was like a made up word in, like, we're not far from each other, but
a made up word. I wouldn't say that they were made up then. I guess they were shorthand. Maybe.
Like, I can't think of one for like.
Let's ask Google. Let's see.
No, mine's ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
Bestie.
It's pretty much Google, ChatGPT. They're the same person.
Don't. No.
You don't want me to offend her?
Don't offend him.
He's going to hear you. Sorry.
Jerry's like, he calls him Chad. Because I told him, oh, it's Chat GPT, and he goes, Chat GPT.
But that's why everyone says, they're like, oh, hey, chat, tell chat. And so when you say like, hey, chat, you're talking to a room or you're talking to a group of people.
See, no, I just say, hey, bestie. So when AI takes over the world, like they would be like, oh, no, she was nice to me.
Lewis told me because he uses his, I'm like, you might as well be married to the thing. And he's like, though? She's going to hear you be nice.
Don't listen to her. Let me tuck him underneath the pillow.
Let me plug your ears.
You're safe with me.
Stop. Let's see. Millennial.
Oh my gosh. I really can't think of any.
Watch.
I hung around with sophisticated people.
Yeah, we're going to see him and be like, okay.
Oh, that was a thing.
Let me get a list.
And I'm going to take that list and I'm going to use it when I'm talking to Abraham. And he's going to be like, what?
She's going to take this list. Now I got to find him. Okay. Let's see.
I
not this blurry ass picture. What is this? Like a huge one when I was teaching was Riz. That was a huge one. Not like for me, but for their current slang. So it was like, oh, I remember Lewis brought me a coffee and they're like, oh, miss, is he trying to Riz you up? And I'm like, that's my husband. But what does that mean?
Yeah, please tell me what Riz is.
So from my understanding, it's like, it's charisma, but it got shortened to Riz. So it's like, do you have game? Like, oh, is he spitting game at you?
I'm going to go to Jeremy.
go Riz him up.
I'm going to go Riz him. Sounds so wrong.
See what I'm saying? But, we would just say like, oh, put you on game. Like it's the same. So that would be our version of Riz. And so when they said that to me, I was like, what? But if I wasn't working around these kids, I would have never heard this. It's not like we talked here.
So tell me, is that like very demure? Is that like one of those things, or is that just a word people just overused because they thought
that became one of their words? Yeah, very demure, very. And it's a real word. It's just the way it became kind of out of hand. But yeah, same thing. It's just certain words that like you decide that you're gonna pick up on. And then you even have the millennial and then you have the Gen Z, but now we're moving into the Gen Alpha slang, which is even more different.
That makes no sense to me. It makes sense, obviously, but that just the Gen Z and the Gen. What did you just say?
Well, because now it starts over. Gen Alpha.
Are those our kids?
Yeah, they would be Gen Alpha.
Oh, gosh.
She said, oh, great.
That sounds dangerous.
I'm learning so much information here.
Yeah, seriously. Like, let's educate Laura on the things that she's just not in tune with. Because
it goes.
We are the millennials.
Yeah, so 2010 to 2024, if that's where like their birth year would be, they would be Gen Alpha, I believe. Let me see. And then, like, the next generation would be Gen Beta.
What? That sounds like a software update for
because you have to think of it. It's Gen X, Gen Z.
Okay.
The millennials, millennials and Gen Z.
So we're doomed. Gen Alpha. That's all of our kids. That's all of my kids.
Yeah. And then the next one will be Gen Beta, and then Gen Charlie, and then X, all the way to Z again. We won't be here for that. But
yeah.
Let me see.
It literally sounds like a software update. Hey, did you get Gen's betas?
But I mean, isn't it kind of like that? I mean, your kids are supposed to be better than you. Is it really an update
if they're using cook as like instead of saying that was good, you cooked? Like, no offense, guys. Just like don't cancel me. Please.
My students would laugh at me. I'd be like, what are you saying? Yeah. Like, miss, you're not with it? No, I don't know what you're saying.
I'm not hip. Is that like even cool to say? Like I'm not hip?
Probably don't say that.
Lewis, edit this out. Edit. Cut it out.
Yeah, I wanted to confirm the ages. So yeah, the common age range for Gen Alpha would be 2010 to 2014.
Seriously, that's interesting.
So you have the baby boomers, which we all know, and then Gen X, and then we're millennials, but we're actually Gen Y,
which
we just call it
millennials are the cooler of the bunch.
Yeah, because we're like in between,
right? Because that's what's the age for the millennials?
So
is that like the 90s babies?
I want to, yeah. Well, so it's like I count myself as a millennial, but I would technically be Gen Z because I'm 96. But it ends at 94.
Oh, so I just made the cut.
That's what I mean. So you could those people that are like
identify.
90. Yeah, so those people that are like 92, 93 to where's the cutoff for the next one? So then Gen Z would start at 95. So that are like up till the 2000s, I would say we're like right in between. And
like the 90s. I really 90s. Categorize the millennials as like the 90 babies.
And that's because we really had, we had like the introduction to technology, and then like we kind of saw both. We were the last generation to really, to see both like that come up of technology, but we also played outside.
Yeah. Exactly. We weren't iPad babies.
Yeah. So that, and then you would have Gen Z, which was 95 to 2012, and then 2013 to 2025 is Gen Alpha. So anyone born in 2026, so like my next child.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously not having one now.
I love that you're manifesting that. Would like be, everything out of your mouth. It's just like my next child.
Would be Gen Bravo, which is crazy.
That's insane.
So they would be like the first year of Gen Bravo.
Wow.
So fun fact.
Fun fact.
Education
there you
about
go. Like my mind is blown, honestly.
So in case you didn't know what generation you're in, that's it.
You're welcome.
Glad we could figure that out.
Glad we broke that down.
Remember when I was like, I won't need my phone? Yeah. I'm glad I found it because I needed it.
Mine's still scared because you.
Oh my gosh, stop. I'm only talking about Lewis's chat.
Yeah, they're all the same. Just different personalities.
Well, Lewis, I'm telling you, Lewis is actually married to his, because I'm like, it's his therapist, it's his business partner, it's his.
But it really will get you ahead instead of trying.
If you know how to use it, yes.
If you do, yes.
Because I do think it's a great tool, and I talked about this on one of my other podcasts. It's a great tool if you use it correctly.
Correct. Yes, and it will get you ahead instead 100%. Of having to pay people, because I am a firm believer, if you're going to have a mentor, right? Or if you are going to pay somebody to do something to grow your business, you have to be like-minded. You have to have that chemistry. If not, it's going to be conflict. Oh, right? Like if you don't have somebody that can't see your vision, you're just paying somebody to build their own business at that point, right? Because they are not going to see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Only you know quirks and connections. Only I know sippers. Only I know that big vision. Disagree with you. Exactly. and in that, on that token, they will give you, I really do believe life is going to hand you lessons, right? And it's probably going to hurt at that point. It's probably going to suck.
A blessing or a lesson.
Exactly. And I like to think of it more as blessings, because if you really are strong-hearted on that dream that you want to accomplish, that you want to see come to life, you're going to continue and push through what you think is right. And everything else, God is just going to filter those people that don't have that like-minded vision as you. And it's going to hurt. But at the end of the day, when you're seeing that success and you're standing on top, right? When you're finally seeing it and looking back at it, it's going to be yours. You're nurturing that baby to become something bigger, right?
I think that's what hurts so much about like my business breakup.
Let's talk about it.
It happened at, well, we'll circle back, but I just want to make the one point. It happened at like 9 months in. That's a whole pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's like, seriously. I grew that baby.
Yep.
And then when it was formed and ready to go, you want to snatch it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want to do the groundwork. You didn't want to do the building. And so I think that was like the biggest pain point for me. But going into that, like you said, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Going back to something you said in the beginning, people don't talk about the messy. The hard, the tears, the late nights.
Oh my God, let's just double check to see if this is recording, because I want this recorded, because this is going to be.
It is recorded.
Is it?
Yeah. The noises were from his laptop.
Oh, rude. Okay.
That's why I was like, okay.
I heard it here and I'm like, oh no.
Go get your hearing checked.
Lewis, cut this out.
It's recording.
Okay, go. Everything that we just talked about wasn't recorded.
No. we don't talk about the messy. And we don't talk about the hard. We don't talk about the tears, the late night conversations, the many
vulnerability.
Yeah. Especially like even being a mom in business, wearing the 8,000 hats, all of it. And so we often do only see the highlight reels. We often do only see the successes. And I think that an important part to show is like, okay, where did you come from? How did you get there?
Exactly.
Because other people aren't going to be able to get successful if they don't see it's okay to mess up. Because you're going to think like that you're going through something and you're the only one because no one ever talks about it or no one ever. I think we're getting better as a society as starting to talk about it. And
as women too.
Yeah,
we are like women. We're taught we have to be perfect all the time, and we can't let people see that our kids are running crazy and but we're still getting things done. Like literally, Natasha, did you give yourself that credit? You're running a household, and you're also preparing to shoot for record. You're in your studio recording for a podcast. Like nobody talks about those hard things as a mom. Yes, men do have it, but women, we have to be moms. Maybe we are wearing the 8,000 hats because we don't have time in the rest of our day to advertise, we have that guilt of if we do it for something else, we're watering something else that may bring success. We also have to be a mom in between, and we have to be a wife and cater to a bunch of different things.
I find myself all the time having the worst mom guilt because I will be sitting on and I hate being on my phone. I do, but I'm running a business.
Exactly.
I'm running my business. I'm running the women's group, and I'm running my podcast on top of, I still also have a life.
Exactly.
And so, and everything else. And sometimes there are days where I need to be on my phone. I need to outreach for those sponsorships. I need to outreach send these messages. I need to advertise my meeting, especially starting from ground zero.
Exactly.
Again.
But with experience.
Just a different, it'll be bigger, better, whatever. But sometimes I feel so bad because my son, he's 2.5. He's got a lot of energy and he just wants my attention. And I know that, but there's some times where I can't. And I feel so bad.
Yeah.
To the point, I'll even, I'll start, I guess, self-hate maybe.
Yeah.
But it's you start giving yourself that hate talk, wow, what am I making him feel like he's not important? What am I doing? And it's not even that deep. We just are so groomed to feel that way.
We process a lot.
And it's he's, in 5 minutes, he won't remember that he was just wanting my attention. But you're not thinking about that in the moment. And so a lot of times I do beat myself up about that.
We all do. You are literally speaking for everybody.
But people don't talk about it. They just talk about.
Because we have to be strong and we have to be successful, and they think that comes right away and straight away. And the power of the pivot is honestly one of those things. If you had asked Laura a couple months and years prior to this recording, I wouldn't have known everything that I do now, but everything that life has handed, from hospital visits to births of new babies, and full-time job, because you can't forget that there are entrepreneurs that are still working their 9 to 5, and then their 5 to 9 is them trying to make it so that they can be home with their babies. Nobody talks about how hard it is for women to have 2 months of maternity leave and then come back to a full-time job and having to still heal, because it doesn't take 3 months to heal from the effects of the pregnancy afterwards, right?
100%.
It takes years, and to feel yourself again is really, really hard. So now take that into account with a woman that's trying to grow a business and be successful on her own, and still trying to be the perfect wife for their husband and the perfect mom for their kids and everything else.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Your hormones upwards of 2 years to rebalance out after delivery.
Yep.
Longer if you breastfeed.
And then they don't ask moms. Well, they do ask in the hospital, is there anything that can cause postpartum, but they don't ask those important details, you know, like they don't ask, hey, how are you going to feel going back to work after 2 months of rest when your body needs more than that, you know? And that's why postpartum may happen to a lot of women. The overstress that is put on us,
yeah,
you know?
I'm so thankful that I didn't go through that, but my sister did.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times it does come down to like personality type or hormone levels, pre-pregnancy, those types of things. But something Lewis and I think actually it came up yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that men go through postpartum as well.
They do.
And that's not talked about at all, to my knowledge. I mean, maybe very minimal.
Yeah.
But especially like in our case, we both are lucky in the fact that we have supportive husbands.
We do.
Shout
out to the husband. Shout out, baby.
Right.
So he gets his 2 seconds.
His 2 seconds of fame. But some people don't have that. And sometimes like they feel the weight of the business, the weight of the kids, I mean, even like you just said, my husband set everything up and then took my son to the gym daycare so that we could record. But people don't see that.
No.
They don't. They just assume, I guess.
Yeah. That was like super wholesome though. Like honestly, seeing him like here focused on everything from the lighting to our voices to like the angle, like, and then showing up for you. Although I think that is showing up for you, but also showing up for you on the dad's side, having to take your son to the gym to get
every
the
day.
energy
I'm literally like, I feel so blessed. I couldn't ask for a better husband.
Shout out to the dads and husbands out there, honestly, because
even we were in the we went to the gym, and so I told you to go to the Y, so obviously very family oriented.
Yeah.
And there was this husband and wife. She was like setting up her table. I think it was like, I wish I knew the name of the business, but it was waffles, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she was setting it up, and her husband was there filming everything, and he was like, I want to see more of that. And that was just like, that's what we do want to see more.
Our unpaid employees, they show up for us. You don't pay them, they do better. No. But that's what Jeremy is to me. Like Jeremy on the back ends of Sippers, on the behind the scenes, you know, he's the one like giving our babies a bath, getting them ready for bedtime while I prepare. Sometimes he's even up late nights helping me prepare for like setups and pop-ups, you know, and you're going to get there with Ezra, right? Where he's going to be your little helper. Yeah. Abraham, my son, like he too, like the people that don't get the most credit are always the ones working behind the scenes, you know, and they're okay with not, you know,
because they really
just do it. They love you. They do it, you know, like without needing the recognition. Like 100%. Lewis just checked in. Like seriously, like shout out to him, man. Like he just checked in.
He clocked in and clocked out.
Yeah. And he's like, bye, I'm not getting paid for this, but I'm going to make sure you're good. Right. Like those are the things that men and the dads, you know, like they don't get the recognition that they deserve, honestly.
And because to be honest, I couldn't do more than half of what I do without him.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are going to make it far.
He really is. I mean, I do a lot, don't get me wrong, but he makes it possible so I can do that. Yeah. I mean, when we don't get a babysitter, he stays home with Ezra. When we do get a babysitter, he comes to my events with me and he records my socials.
Genuine,
he
unconditional.
Interacts my guests. He helps me set up, take down, anything that I would have had to do on my own, which I totally can.
I love it. But
he makes it just that much better. Easier. Like, for example, for our event in October on Thursday.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, like, you know, message the Dom, which he's the owner of the venue. Yeah. He's like, see if we can go by. I want to make sure like we know where we want to put everything, which we've been there before, but he's like, I want to know where I'm putting because I'm going to have a speaker. He's like, I want to know where I'm going to put the person who's speaking. I want to know where like we're going to put the actual speaker. Those things, like, where are you going to put your banner? And I was like, oh, I'll just figure out when I get there.
Yeah. No,
like,
you see what I mean?
He gets anxiety about that stuff. And so it's like we kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, our partners are our biggest, like, everything for us. Jeremy is definitely the little details that I'm in such a rush to make sure everything's perfect. He's on the back end making sure it's perfect. That he looks into those things that I'm not looking into because I'm focused on.
Yeah, Lewis is like
the bigger thing.
He's like my sound person. He gets a lot of my like behind the scene content or like content at the events. And
our besties.
Thankful for that because I can't host and be taking pictures.
And
honestly, social media is like how you're going to make it in this day and age right now.
And you just know that they don't have any ill intentions. Our partners, at least knowing Lewis, knowing Jeremy, like they have no ill intentions of like derailing like your success or anything. Like they want to see you succeed.
You can trust them 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's very scarce to come by nowadays, you know, like, and I feel like we keep looping back to it, but I think
we'll get there.
We've both been through like that breakup, right? Like where you look to somebody, you're vulnerable, which is really hard for me to do, is be vulnerable because I've been burned so much. Yeah, like I've been burned so much by people I thought were there for me, you know? And now at the point I'm in life right now, it's really hard for me that to a point and to a fault, I feel like it's delaying my success, you know, because I've been burned so bad, especially those bigger burns that you didn't think would come from the people that it came from are the ones that hurt the most.
Honestly, I would even go to say like the business breakups hurt worse than anything. And this is my first, and I know it won't be the only one, but I can be hopeful.
I know.
But my first. And they always say you remember your first anything. Yeah. And let me tell you, I'll be taking this to the grave.
Yeah.
But you would have, like you said, you never expected it to come from, like, this is somebody that I would have rode to the end with, like, done everything because I loved and respected her. I still love and respect her, just from a distance.
Yeah.
And it was someone who was like family to me. So for you to bring things in, hello, cease and desist.
Yeah.
And legalities, and then you start threatening me, that's when it becomes crazy. And just unfathomable. Like I would have never imagined you to do that.
In your stomach.
You referred to me as a daughter. So this is how you treat your daughter?
Yeah. Let's talk about that, right?
And like I referred to you as a mother figure and a mentor and someone I look up to. I would never treat my mom that way. So, and you know, we've had our differences, but never.
Yeah.
And so I think that they hurt worse than breakups, than even ending friendships.
Absolutely.
And the crazy part is because it's business, you have to put a lot of trust into them and friends. And you build like a quick bond fast because we only knew each other, this October would be a year. But people didn't know that we only knew each other, that like they would be like, well, how long have you known her? And I'd be like, oh, not even a year. And like, I guess that should have been my red flag.
Yeah.
But we were so close and people thought we knew each other for years. Like
I've said lately a lot, because you asked me this in the questionnaire, right? All is well and God is in control. That's one of those things. And the second thing is when a person's showing you who they are, and I'm going to say it again, and when a person's showing you who they are the first time, believe them.
Yeah.
Period. Like that's, and I say that, I say that practically every day because you just, when a person is showing you exactly who they are, you believe them the first time.
I'm really channeling my inner 48 Laws of Power these days. I love that book. I love the Laws of Human Seduction. I love the Laws of Human Nature.
Have you read The Game of Life and How to Play It?
Yeah.
Powerful book. Like I can definitely, I'm going to have to read into the 48 Laws of Power is what you said.
Yeah. So it's called the 48 Laws of Power and it's by Robert Greene. Okay. And actually I release these on Thursdays.
Yes.
But actually every Monday I release an episode discussing 3 of the laws.
Love it.
And it's only like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I really go into it because it's a very dense book, I would say, because it's very wordy. It's very... Yeah. A lot of the stories they take and they show how it's like been relevant to life since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So sometimes the stories come from like the Queen of England time frame or before that. And so they're very like old English. And so sometimes it can be very heavy or very dense. So like I'll go through it and I'll break it down like simplest terms. And then I'll talk about how you can like apply it to your life personally or professionally, or something I had just been through regarding that.
Yeah.
So
the courage to be disliked is, but it's a book. And it's one of those wordy books, but
aren't they always?
The relevancy, it's always the best kinds of books. Honestly, the paperback highlight, like the books I have are all highlighted with like the things that I can go back at. And somebody actually just taught me how to read a book. And it's one of those life values, like the things that teach you about life. And she told me to go through the book, but go to the chapter that's relevant to your life at that point.
Yeah.
And
especially if it's a self-help book.
Yes. And I apply that to like the self-help books, and I read a lot of them, but it was a good way to apply those chapters. Like it goes hand in hand with what you're,
especially
so that way,
because
it hits differently. Like when you're reading something that applies to you, just like a song. The song is your favorite song because you heard that one lyric that applies to your life at that moment, you know, and then you repeat it and you repeat it.
Well, you feel the words instead of just reading them, and that's the difference.
Exactly. And so to that, like you're reading these chapters and they're hitting a little different because you're going through it at that moment, you know. But the courage to be disliked, if you haven't read it, definitely read it. It's a good one. It kind of teaches you that
Lord knows I got
but being disliked, what we just talked about it, right? Like being disliked is not always a bad thing, right? And it's usually just because somebody has different mindset and they can only hear the sound of their own voice kind of thing. And that's kind of where I think we're both kind of like relating because we're on that same chapter right now. But the courage to be disliked.
It was really, so I told you I record those episodes on Mondays, and so I release them on Mondays. But when I was recording the past two, boy, did I have very different views of these laws after
do you ever
sudden
look back
events.
Like, do you ever look back and say, wow, what I know now a month later, like because of this specific event that happened, I could say more. Let me go record a little bit more about that chapter, you know?
And I could, but I more so right now when I do that, I channel it. I'm writing a book. So the book that I'm writing right now
is a movie.
Stop. My life is a movie. TV show, actually. More like a sitcom.
Like a telenovela. Like one of those drama shows.
Look, Lewis, that's his lane. But he, so I just kind of go back and reflect it in there. And how I start my book is actually a letter to my 15-year-old self. And how I end the book is my legacy letter, and it's a letter to Ezra. And so I start it, and that's kind of what I say. Like, you don't know it yet, but you're going to do, because sometimes I really have to remind myself of everything I've accomplished.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it earlier.
We did.
Like, you don't realize how much you've done until you compare it to really, I think, age.
Yeah.
And my problem is a lot of the people that I'm around all the time, I'm the youngest person in the room. So what I'm doing doesn't necessarily seem relevant or seem exquisite or seem on scale, but I'm only 29. And so
imagine what you're going to do when you're like 32. Imagine where you'll be at 32. When we look back at this podcast, just a reminder, look back at this podcast, like recording. And I can't imagine how much more successful you'll be at 32.
I'm really excited to, like, in 2-3 years, look back at all of these and just be like, you know, see where I am and where I came from.
I'm excited. That's exciting.
Writing this letter, I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm listing, like, you don't know it yet, but you did XYZ. You've done this. Like, you've done this. You're applying to your doctorate program. Like, all these things. And 15-year-old me, like, I went into the foster care system at 15. My mom was dealing with her domestic violence. I had no idea. I had every reason to be a statistic.
Yeah.
Right. And not do anything with my life. And my dad was in and out of jail for drugs. Mm-hmm. But so reading that and writing that letter to myself it's like, wow. So I think that other people should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might not think you've done a lot, but really sit down and write a list of your accomplishments. You might be more surprised.
Yeah, like a permanent manifestation, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, just like a side story, like everybody that I would talk to, I would always end with, I should be on a podcast. Or I should start a podcast. So when you reached out to me, I was so nervous.
I know, like, and I don't understand why, because I kept telling you it's a conversation.
You, like, we were just talking about it, though. Like, I really do think people who are just driven and people who have goals that they want to meet and dreams that they want to make, like, bring to life, are always going to think what they've done is not good enough. And so you're always, because you're always trying to level up, and you're always, once you're done with what you've completed, have you ever looked back and said, wow, this is what I had planned to complete at 30, and you've already done it? Like, have you ever had those moments where you, like, sit back and you look and you're just like, wow, like, I didn't even acknowledge that. I didn't pat myself on the back because I'm on to the next thing.
What does it for Lewis and I is, I tell you, usually we're around people that are, like, they haven't done what we've done, or they're much further ahead of us.
Put yourself in a place where people are just like you. And
that's the goal. Yeah. But my point in saying that is, what we've noticed is people will be like, oh, but you've done so much. And Lewis and I look at each other and we're like, we feel like we've done nothing. Yeah. And so that tells me, like, okay, we're not done yet. And we know that. Yeah. But it's like, I see how people get complacent and like happy with like where they're at, because from the outside looking in, I'm in a great place. I could just enjoy it, but I know that I'm meant to do something bigger and better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I think that that's kind of the difference. Yeah. And I think that that is just honestly your vision. It's our entrepreneurship drive.
Yeah. Like, well, your vision too, minds. And your values as well. Because I definitely think it has a lot to do with values, because the life that you lived when you were younger, it's not genetic. It's not in your blood. It's just things that you were taught to know as normal, that you thought, oh my gosh, maybe that's the life I'm going to like live, but you're breaking those like boundaries. Yeah, you are. Too. You are, as you're living it, you are. Like, if you look at your son's life, Ezra.
Oh, he's set up.
He's good, right? But like, do you ever like take a second? Him. Like, yeah, no, but do you ever take a second? Like, that's what they say, right? Like, us as parents right now, we're like working so that our kids are living the lives that we wanted when we were like this, like, you know, like,
well, you're always supposed to raise a generation to be better.
And I think right now, like at the beginning of this recording, right, we were talking about breaking those generational gaps and like those generational things as women that we encounter, you know, like, I really was, being Hispanic, I was taught I had to be in one specific place, that having a husband and kids in a house is making it. And for me right now, in my mindset, is having my own business and having a husband and kids in a house, and everything else is a bonus. You know, like, I want to keep going. Let's see how far Laura can go. Let's see how more generational, like, curses and gaps and stuff like that she can break. But I really do think like the life that you were subjected to when you were younger is not necessarily the life that you have to live. That's a choice. It's not genetic.
Right. And it truly just shows you like what you're comfortable around and what you are familiar, what you're familiar with.
Yes.
And so when you do start to progress, or
it gets uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really uncomfortable.
But you can't grow where you're comfortable.
Look at me. Here I am, like, breaking a sweat. I'm in, like, hyperventilating in your guest bathroom.
Stop it.
Because, like, to you, you've been doing this. How many sessions have you recorded, right? Like, this is a normal for you.
But I still get nervous every single time.
I'm really sure you do, but not, like, me nervous that I'm, like, hyperventilating, like, checking in your windows to make sure my strand of hair isn't out of place. Like, my kid and my husband, Abraham and Jeremy, are, like, hyping me up. And they're like, yeah, Mom, you got this. Like, my son is going to tell his friends that his mom was on a podcast, featured in a podcast, you know, like, that's big. Yeah. For me, that's big. And I'd like to look back at this 2-3 years from now, and when we're looking back at the thing. Yeah. And maybe 2-3 years from now, I will be featured in different podcasts. Heck, maybe have my own podcast, you know, like, you just never know what life is going to hand you, right?
And that was one of the biggest pushes behind, I kind of touched on it earlier, but why I started the podcast was, I think everyone, well, media, social media, all of that, it's just the way of business right now.
Exactly.
Get with it or get behind.
Make it or break it.
And the other part is a lot of people want a podcast, or a lot of people, you know, they want to do those things. They just, I mean, it is a lot of work. Or you don't have the technical abilities or capabilities or space.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to give that my space as another long form platform for other, specifically women entrepreneurs in the local area, to not only just tell their business story, but tell their personal story. Because at the end of the day, people are, they're buying products, but they're not buying the product because, like, people might buy your drink because it is what it is.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, they're buying it because they like you.
Exactly.
They're buying from Laura.
Yeah.
And if they don't know Laura, who's going to buy from you?
Exactly.
And so that comes behind the branding thing you touched on earlier. There's business branding, but there's also personal branding.
Exactly.
And so people might love your business, but if they hate you, then they're not going to want to buy from you ultimately. Because they can just go in the store and get a different drink.
Or go to Starbucks and grab a coffee, right?
Exactly.
But like this is...
But if they want to love and support Laura, they're going to do it. And you said it with the hats. You're like, I love supporting small businesses.
And
Same
it's
with
not necessarily like just Laura, right? But it's, they could relate to the entrepreneur Laura. Or, and when I play and kid about like personalities, is because truly as women, we do have those caps, I guess, a lighter, less, aggressive way to say it.
Lewis
but like,
calls it code switching.
Yeah. Well, you know, like there's many ways of saying it, right? Yeah. But like we do have many different versions of us. Like I have the entrepreneur Laura, and then I have the mama for Laura and the wife Laura, and then I have the fitness Laura. Like those are different personalities. I guess I should, not personalities, but like
they're different
versions of us.
I would say they're like different parts of you. Yeah. So, I mean, even if you wanted to take it to a very boring topic, the stocks, and it's only because that's Lewis's
his
interest
forte
right now. So, like the stock market has, I think he said 11 sectors. And so Laura has, we'll say, 11 sectors. And so you got your fitness sector, your mom sector. And so if you think about it that way, you have to have and study each of those sectors of yourself. And
and then they wonder why we're stressed. Let's talk about that, you know, like, but no, it's seriously like I want, and I always say a business can have the best coffee or sandwich or whatever, right? But it's not that, like the way you treat me, like, can I relate to you, right? Those things. I want to be relatable. I don't want to just be here, you're buying a tea off of me. I want to be the Laura that you can come to and talk about like mom life or the business life or the fitness life, you know, and then grab a tea. Like I want to know that the person I'm coming to is human.
Well, as human beings, we're community creatures. But more than that, we base a lot of decisions on experience. Absolutely. And so if I have like you said, it might be like very subpar coffee. But if I had an amazing time, I'm going to keep going back.
Yep.
And especially if I connect with the owner or, you know, XYZ. But then the opposite is true as well. It could be the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
Yep.
But if you treated me like shit and I felt not great leaving there,
go get
I'm never coming back. I'm going to go get the subpar coffee and have a good time.
I want to feel like I'm welcomed, that I am being seen. At least that's, I guess, I should say, in business, like what we are able to like relate to, right? Like we're able to have these like personable, I guess, connections, for the lack of a better term, right? These relationships that we build, that we're able to build those relationships, especially starting off as these small businesses because we're barely starting off. It's not like a Walmart that we can open a different chain. Everybody knows what Walmart is. You know, we have to build trust. To the choir, you know, girl. Like we have to build a trust, and we have to build those in all these different platforms. It's then they wonder why we're stressed, you know, like there's just so many different outlets that we have to give our attention to aside from everything else.
Yeah, you just kind of touched on it, like we're building something brand new. It's not like we have brand recognition.
Yep.
And oh Lord, I'm not only dealing with that with the women's group because you know there's a million women's groups.
Yeah.
But I'm having to rebrand that. But the biggest thing is, well, you know, I started like with the candles.
Yes.
And I moved through, and now I still work in aromatherapy and scent psychology, but now it's more focused on like consultations and speaking and working with businesses. But the topic that I teach and talk on, people look at me like I got 8 heads because it's still brand new. But the thing is it's brand new to people at this level.
Yeah.
Companies like Target, Starbucks, Disney, hotels, they've been using it for years. Why do you think when you walk in a hotel it smells a certain way? Yeah. Always the same. And that's by design. It's scent psychology.
Yeah.
And scent marketing, scent branding. But I'm trying to make that available to smaller businesses because it is. You just don't know how to use it. And you don't know it exists.
Exactly.
And so that's my biggest struggle is it's like getting people to not look at me like I'm nuts.
You just have to network to the right people.
Yeah, I'm finally, like I redesigned my logo, so that helped. We redid our name, and so that's very helpful, which I think it's really cute. I think you would appreciate it. I'll have to show it to you.
Yeah, you have to.
It's like a little, it looks like a perfume bottle, but the cap is
Do you have it on your phone? I have to see this.
Yeah, but the cap is like a brain, like, and then it says Scent Psychology or Scent IQ Solutions.
That's
cute.
What
we are. And then on the like perfume bottle, like in really tiny writing, it says like the Oud perfume, but like says Scent Psychology. I'll show you.
Yeah.
But it was very different than what it was before, which was very basic, very generic. Because I didn't really know what we were doing.
You're starting.
But now getting people to understand what it is and how beneficial it can be, finally, oh Lord, finally, I have 2 speaking engagements. One is like with real estate investors in Tampa. And so they have like their monthly meeting, but I'm their October featured speaker. And so I'm super excited about that opportunity. And then
you're going to be in all the hotels, all the big businesses.
And then the other one, let me find this picture. But the other one that I'm doing, and actually I don't know why more people don't know about this resource. Probably because it's free. And so I would highly recommend anybody that has a business, if you're listening to this, look up your local, you too. Look up your local, and I can just send you ours because we have the same one, but it's in Tampa, your Entrepreneurship Collaborative Center.
What? Like
Did you know that every big city has one? It is a free, And what they have is every month they post their calendar.
Let's build a website and put all these resources on the website.
But that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Say it louder for the mic. That's what that was. Say it louder for the people who didn't know.
I'll pull you up this logo in a second. But the other one is at this center. And so they do a thing every month called 1 Million Cups. And you pretty much, your business just has to be, I believe, it might be a little different. It just has to be less than 5 years old, has to be like your business, XYZ. And you can go there and present to this building of entrepreneurs, this room of entrepreneurs, and do it once a month. You apply, you submit your idea. I actually go do my practice for it on the 1st, and the actual presentation, based on what they say, is on the 15th. But, you know, you choose, and I can send you the information for that. Yeah. But you're getting in front of other people. The other thing is they put their calendar on their website, and I'll pull it up right now and tell you just like what some of their events are.
Yeah, break it down.
Because why do more people not? I didn't know about it, and I found out from another friend, and she doesn't live in Florida, but they had it in her state, and she's like, every state has it, every big city has it.
Amazing.
But she was like, I didn't know about it either, and it's not talked about.
Will get you.
Because it's free.
That's ridiculous.
Let me
That's
see.
Awesome.
Entrepreneurship ship. And of course, this one's in Tampa because.
And seriously appreciate you doing your women's groups because, and you know, have the idea to expand because connections will get you really far. Like knowing, like talking to people in general will get you really far.
So for example, it's on Hillsborough County's website because it's put on through like whatever your
How
county
small
is.
did they make it as an option to click on?
Well, I don't know because I just Googled the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center.
Yeah.
But when I was looking for it, it was difficult. I only knew what to look for. But they're open, like they have meeting rooms in there. It's open all week. You can just go in and look at what they offer. It's like a community center, but for entrepreneurs.
Wow.
And let me actually just go to my email because that was the annoying part, was trying to subscribe to their email. But once you get in,
they don't want
you have
to be
all
successful,
the info,
right?
And so let me see. Gmail. Now I have to go in my treacherous email. Hold, please. I don't want to go in there.
2 million emails loading.
That's pretty much what's happening. I'm just trying to pull up. Okay, so, and they send like their weekly newsletter. And it's the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center, or ECC. Ours is in Tampa. But for example, this is obviously like the beginning of September because that's the email I pulled up. But just to give you an idea of their events.
Yeah, tell me.
Bookkeeping basics, AI. The 1 million cups is like the presentations I was just telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
How to sell when you hate to sell. Entrepreneur speaking. Buying real estate. Competitive bidding, bid pricing basics. Content creation marketing class. Understanding cash flow.
And this is all free?
Data analytics. Yeah, you just have to sign up to go.
Wow.
And these are all going into business, preparing a business plan, Mindset Mondays, which I'm guessing is like every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just to the 15th. And then like they'll send a new one for the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't feel like looking for it. But, and you can go in, you can read what's going to be at the class, XYZ. But yeah, I was looking for like places to present and where can I.
And that you just kind of stumbled upon that.
Well, a friend told me about it.
A friend told you, yeah.
But I stumbled across so she told me about the center. I didn't know about the speaking aspect.
Got it.
But they have, I would look into it, 1 million cups or 1MC. They also have an Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But you literally just go on, it's an application, and you're like, this is my business, my name, this is my proposal, this is what I want to present.
Mm-hmm.
And then their coordinator will email you back with dates that they have available. When I applied for mine, which is like a month or so ago, this was their next date, was for October. But they do have you come in and they send you an outline too. Like, hey, follow this outline for the presentation. And then you go in, you present your practice one. My practice is on the 1st.
Wow.
And then that way you also get to see how a meeting goes. And then you would present your product, your business, your service.
What are you presenting?
When?
Yeah, what are you presenting?
My Sense Psychology.
Okay.
I will do another application for the Quirks and Connections.
Yeah, girl, because you have like how many?
But it's separate. So I just kind of want to see how this goes. But my focus is on that as well. But yeah, more people need to know about that. And everybody, no matter where you are, every big city, big county, it's county run, has one. And I just think it's crazy that people don't talk about that.
Yeah.
That it's not like a number one resource you're given. Like, hey, check this out.
Yeah, that would be helpful, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I'm trying to, I touched on it earlier. That's what I'm trying to build, but for kids.
Yeah.
And then of course, like within my women's group.
You know how much more, that's amazing, honestly. That I will be sticking around. I'm not going to hope or anything. I will be sticking around to see this come to life because that would include my kids.
Exactly.
That would include my kids, your babies too.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, like that is big.
And even like she comes to you'll see her on the 2nd, but she does the charcuterie cart.
Okay.
It's called the Social Nom. But her kids help her at the markets every weekend.
That's Abraham.
And
that's for me. Like that's
they might be around the same age. I'm not sure. But that's what I was saying. I was like, I can't wait until Ezra is like old enough to do that because you're teaching them such valuable skills.
Yeah, and discipline. everything that Ezra's seeing, everything that my baby Abraham, because he's at the age, and I keep referring to Abraham, he's 12. And if he's at a sat down, age, if he sat down right here next to me and you had asked him, how do you introduce yourself? He'd probably say Abraham, co-owner of Sippers, because he's my guy. Like, he is, and so is Jeremy. But like, while Jeremy's doing all the back end, like with the kids and stuff like that, you bet Abraham's going to be at an event with me, like talking and networking and this is a 12-year-old talking and knowing what networking is and knowing connections is a big thing for businesses, and speaking on the product and knowing how to set up. Like, those are the things.
As adults, we develop fear. They don't really have that yet. And so if you introduce, I mean, they do, but not as bad as like we do.
Yeah.
And so if you ask them, if you introduce them to it very young, they're used to it. That's the normal. That normalcy you said you were used to, what you grow up seeing. Yes. Now that's normal for him.
Our kids.
Ezra's going to be so used to seeing people come film podcasts. He's going to be like, oh, whatever.
He's going to be like a little businessman. Like, seriously, like, that's what you are raising. Right. Like, that's for your future kids too. Like, that's what you're like bringing into this world. And I think people need to have that mindset of, like, what are you raising for this like generation, for this world? Like, you best bet, like, everybody that compliments me on Abraham or even gets in touch, has a conversation with Abraham, they will say he's like, so like, he has his head on right. Like, he has such real conversations. Yeah, he's a kid. He'll be on his like Roblox or like whatever these games are, like FIFA and everything else. But if you sat him down with me and you asked him the same questions, he would be able to have a real conversation with you, because he's seeing those things. And I haven't, as a mom or an entrepreneur, like, I haven't ever thought about that. Is that crazy to say? Like, I think about it, but nobody talks about like what our kids are seeing, because our kids are seeing all of this.
Yeah, it's not really like a forethought. People don't think about it.
So it's crazy that it's not crazy, and I use that for the lack of a better term, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
The idea that you are going to put into play for these kids.
Trying
like,
to.
That's incredible though. Because like, what other...
And like I said...
Like, there's no other, like...
There's like... Programs are emerging, like in high school. I mentioned that one class, and I only found out about that when I was approaching about what I wanted to do. So I was like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
But, and there's other like kids markets, but there's no help. It's more so like,
or if there is, we don't know about it.
Well, what I mean by there's no help is you can you sign your kid up for the market.
Yeah.
It's just them. They're just doing it. But what I want to do is I'm trying to give you every resource I can, as in, say, Laura, say you're the mentor. You're going to help them market the market. You're going to help them market their product. You're going to help them build their social. You're going to do weekly check-ins with them. You're going to help them get people to come out. You're going to help them set their price points. You're going to help them do things that will make them successful.
It's like us supporting like a lemonade stand.
Right.
Because there are kids.
But in the official way.
Yes, official.
Kids are hustlers, bro. I'm going to tell you right now. And I love it. I really do.
It's amazing. Like, let me submit an application to an 8-year-old so I can run the lemonade stand with you. You know, like, there are kids hustling out there, like putting up their lemonade stands. And I say that because there are kids here in like Riverview or Apollo Beach where they're running lemonade stands and they're selling lemonade. Everybody is like supporting it and they're making their money like little hustlers. Let me take notes. Like, let me go I'll be right back. Let me sit next to you and you teach me a thing or two.
I saw it in the school too. When I was working as a teacher, like them kids love their snacks and they was hustling with the snacks.
Yeah. I think back when I was in high school, there were like, kids taking backpacks.
He had his mom. He's so funny. He had his mom go to like Costco and buy the big like packs of snacks. And then he brought them, because there's not like vending machines and stuff around. And so he brought them and he was selling them. And he was making money. Because we know what it costs to buy the big box of snacks. It's not a lot.
It's like the people who are selling like bottles of water for like $2.50.
But they're learning that in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So
incredible.
They need to capitalize on that.
Yeah, seriously.
Because those kids that are taking an interest in that have no interest in working a 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah.
Because the purpose of a 9 to 5 is you're going to be stuck there forever. And you can only go so far.
I think the reason why there's so many 9 to 5 believers and they think they've made it, that they work 9 to 5, right? Or even 8 to 3 or whatever it is.
Or whatever.
It's because we've been taught that that's the way we have to live our life in order to know that we've made it. So going off and becoming an entrepreneur and going off and teaching our kids everything that we're doing right now, right? Because I could say that confidently, we're teaching our kids that. We're not teaching them the 9 to 5 is the way to go.
Well, and if you think about it in that aspect too, the school system raises you to work a 9 to 5. Yes. Think about the hours you go to school. Because that is what the school system was originally designed to do. It was to train workers. And so if you look at a picture of technology back then and technology now, worlds of difference, right? Oh yeah. You look at the picture of a classroom from then and a classroom of now, identical. Why?
Because they want you.
Exactly. But people don't think
to not have control. Right? Is that a thing? To not think outside of the box or square.
They want you to do what they consider normal societal
That's why a lot
things.
of people are choosing to homeschool.
Exactly.
That's why homeschooling is a big thing right now, is because
the co-ops, the homeschools, the pod, the hybrid learning. Oh yeah. All of it. I plan to homeschool Ezra. So
yeah. Honestly, I think the people who are able should.
Oh, 100%. And I understand not everyone can. I really understand. I know that I'm blessed in that fact.
Yeah.
But I also want people to understand that you don't need to be in school for 40 hours a week.
Exactly. And because they teach you as well, you have to go to college. And there are people like myself. You go in thinking that you're going to go to college and be successful, right? Right after. But then there are all these trade schools where you make much more money. Yeah. Right? Or you choose to venture off into your own business and you make more money than you would at a 9 to 5. Because they're just offering you $17, which is not even enough to afford life nowadays. But we're taught all these things and we're taught that this is the normal thing, right? That you should follow this line and you can't veer off of it. But if you veer off of it, nobody tells you the success that can come of it.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Right?
And that's kind of that's it. Yeah, you like it?
Stop.
I did it by myself.
That is ChatGPT. No, I'm joking.
Was it? Girl, I wish. Do you know how hard it was to shrink that image into the same size?
Hey, listen, this is...
I'm struggling. I made it on Canva,
this
actually.
This is a vibe, though. Yeah. Did you, though?
I actually did. I am a pro with Canva, let me tell you.
I am too. Nobody, before I was
also a skill I think people need to be taught.
Seriously.
Because I've been asked so many times, hey, can you make this? Hey, can you do this? I see your sign.
And that Canva. Can be a business, though.
Use Canva.
Honestly, though, that can be a business if you really wanted to profit. That could be a business in itself.
It could be, but I really think everyone should just learn how to use it.
Exactly. But let me just disclaim that because this is... Make my logo. This is really good.
And I told we'll insert photo here later.
I can't wait. Yeah, seriously, I can't wait till this thing is
I'm excited. Introduced. Well, when I showed it to Lewis, he was like, "This is the most creative thing I've ever seen." Because I'm like, how can I tell people what I do based on the logo? And I thought of everything I could. I even tried. I tried I tried brainwaves. I tried words. I tried. Just nothing was hitting, but this hit.
This is a vibe. I can't wait.
I'm glad you like it.
I can't wait till you insert the picture there. Is it going to be there or here or here?
I don't know. I don't know because they're kind of
we'll just put it right here. You can put your hand right here. Put your hand.
Kind of they're
and we'll just manifest it.
This is what I've been using as my. Well, it is my new logo, and I'll show you.
I love
the business cards.
I love it. This is you did business cards. Oh, you just showed it. Lewis, cut that out. You just showed it.
No, I released it. It's
you
good.
have.
Yeah,
okay, we're good. Lewis, cut that out. Just cut this part and this part and this part. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
He's gonna be watching this.
He is. He's gonna be like, "What were you guys?"
I hate you guys.
I could have been right here talking about everything you guys are talking about. But no,
he
honestly,
likes it. He does. It makes him, I think also too, he's always been trying to find his way. And I'm sure Jeremy struggles with it too, is of like how to fit in with like the business.
Yeah.
Because usually, I mean, hello, it's my name. I mean, like, where do you fit? But I think that makes him feel like, oh, okay, I am doing my job. I'm included. She needs me. And I do, because I can't do this by myself.
Well, I mean, you did originally start by yourself. And then he offered or found his place, is what you're saying? Well, or has he always been
so we've always like kind of, I told him what I wanted to do.
He's always been tech savvy like this?
Yeah, he went to school for music. Okay. With his associates.
What else did he go to school for? Because he just listed a whole thing.
Yeah. Just like. And then he got his bachelor's. The purpose of getting his bachelor's is he wanted to be a teacher. And so he had most of his credits from his associates. So that's why he did it in interdisciplinary studies.
Got it.
So the classes that were available for night school at the time, because that's what fit our schedule with a kid, was the law classes. And he went to Kaiser.
Okay.
And so he had to go to campus. And so then he ended up getting his bachelor's in that. Did teaching. It was just too much, too stressful. I told him he was going to hate it because the public school system sucks, but here we are. You know, sometimes you got to go through it to figure it out.
Yeah.
He's actually in his master's program right now for mental health counseling. So he's in his like third and fourth class. Like he just finished his first set of classes and he loves it. I mean, I think that he'll do really great in that field. He loves everything about it. I think there needs to be more male therapists, more male counselors, and so he's kind of filling that spot.
I love how you guys are kind of like focused on like the kid, like, you know, like the younger generation.
Yeah, well, we gonna leave, so
yeah, right. Nobody sees a U-Haul behind the hearse, right? When you're like,
well, and your goal should always be to leave. And this is my mantra. I know I've asked you yours, but mine is always leave everyone and everything that you come across better than you found it. That's mine. And so if I can change, and that's kind of the aspect behind the podcast, which is why it's called the Natasha Effect. Yeah. It's built around the butterfly effect. So like everything causes a ripple effect. Everything causes.
Have you ever broken that down before?
Yeah, like here and there I touch on it, but
I love that.
When Lewis was like, doesn't that sound kind of, when I told him the name, he's like, doesn't that sound kind of self like conceited? And I'm like, well, yeah, but A, it's mine. Yeah. And B, like it's built around this. And so he's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But other people I've told kind of immediately could put it together. Yeah. So, but that's kind of my biggest mantra, my biggest like personal mission is just leave everything better than you found it. Yeah. And
to piggyback off that, I always tell Abraham, you know, you're going to want to be in conversations with people where you're going to take valuable like information, for me at least, you know, and I try having these moments with my son and eventually my littles, right? But my big right now, I want to teach him the things that I was never taught. Yeah. Like the most valuable thing, not my version of things or like my vision of things and stuff like that, because I think that's very, I guess, one-sided. I want to show him the things that are going to be valuable in life that he could take and apply it. But one of those big things is going to be, you know, like place yourself in places, in conversations with people who are going to leave you with those like valuable like information that you may not get anywhere else. You know, that conversation can have a big effect on your like next move, 100%. You know, right? And yeah, no problem. No problem. I've been holding it. You just guzzled like a whole like 24-ounce sipper. That's okay. We all have to be hydrated. Stay hydrated and in your own business, right?
Let me tell you.
Drink your water, mind your business.
Normally I can wait, but
no, that's okay. That was the whole 24 ounce. No, yeah.
Well, no, but that and I drank water
the whole gallon of water that you have.
Okay, not the whole thing. Let's not get crazy. That should be my
flawless skin, hydration.
That's the goals, but
and peace. No, but like another thing I was telling you is also like sit at a table where people are bringing something other than their plate.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't want to be at a table where you're just like feeding everybody and nobody's feeding you.
Well, that's why they always say never be the biggest fish in the pond.
Exactly.
Never. And if you're, what's that saying? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And so I think often people want to be the smartest person in the room, but sometimes you have to, I think maturing and growing up is part of realizing that's not the case.
That's not the thing. Yeah.
And that was my problem for a long time.
Someone actually told me, and I had to sit on it for a little bit because I didn't know whether to take offense to it. But like after I threw a fit, I'm like, oh, that's actually like valuable that I didn't take it personal, you know? But she told me, and with all good intentions, she didn't say it to be like a bitch or anything like that. Like she said, don't be a know-it-all. Mm-hmm. Don't pretend to know it all. Be open to constructive criticism. Be open to change because that will get you through many doors that would, that being like that would stop you from getting through, you know, like, and unfortunately, there are a lot of successful people or people who think they are successful. And I hope you know where I'm getting at here, that are also to the point where you can't teach an old dog a new trick. Mm-hmm. For the better of them, you know, like if all people were like us, right? And I just say us because we're the two people in the room. If all people were like us, a lot more people would be successful, right? If a lot more people were open to being uncomfortable and not taking everything personal and as an attack, maybe they could learn something from like the rookies, right? The people who are barely starting, the people who want to become something. And just because you have something, just because you have a business to your name doesn't mean you always have everything. The biggest reason that everything went down was over social media. And not even like, you know, we're fighting over social media. Yeah. It went down because this is what happened. So I made a separate, in the past, everything had been posted on like either her or my social personal pages or our business pages, meaning like my Scent IQ page and then her page, as well as our personal pages. Well, I track everything. And so between the reservations, the RSVPs, the amount of people the volume of people that was increasing meeting after meeting, people were getting confused. Like, okay, what does this fall under? What is this? Is it, you know, what is it? And it's its own thing. Quirks and Connections is its own entity, its own brand. Yeah. But she was like, well, I don't know why you're so obsessed with branding. It's not a brand. Everything's a brand. I'm a brand. You're a brand. Yeah. Sippers is a brand. Scent IQ is a brand. Exactly. The Natasha Effect is a brand. And so all I did was market it correctly? No. All I did was make an Instagram page. Market it correctly. Well, right, but I wasn't even using it yet because I didn't want to blindside anybody. Yeah. I didn't want to backstab anybody. I literally created the handle. I was like, cool, the handle's available. Create. And all I did was the 3, and you can still go to the page now. Like I just pinned those 3 pictures that were on the top, which was the logo I'd already designed and had given to her. And, you know, we agreed on whatever. At the top, explaining what our group is, XYZ, and just the bio. I hadn't followed anybody. I hadn't advertised it. And it just worked itself. Nothing. Yeah. She sent me a screenshot the following morning of the page. So obviously it came across suggested. And cool. I guess it's good for me. It told me, okay, I'm marketing right. Yeah. But like I said, I hadn't followed anybody. Except
probably myself.
Yeah.
And so that's probably how it came across as suggested. Maybe that was my
because
mistake.
if you have like the same friends or something.
It's not like I was, doing some secret shit like, hey, follow me.
First of all, it's social media. It's not secret. Anything on
Yeah.
social media is not secret.
And so that's how this happened.
Wow.
And so she sent me the screenshot. No words to follow. No question. No nothing. Just the screenshot.
What this is. Explain.
And so I knew right then and there, because of who she is and how she is, she was mad. And so I sent like, yo, I'm not trying to blindside you. This is what happened at X, Y, and Z. I wanted to have a finished product before I was like, hey, here's a page.
Right.
I'm not into dropping off half-ass work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I already ran all the socials, the domain, the logo, the colors, the mission. It was all mine. So my IP, my everything. And so I just told her what it was, and she essentially was like demanding. And when I say demanding, that's not me being hyperbolistic at all. That is, she truly was like, you will do this, you will do that. And the wills were, you will hand over administrative control. You will remove yourself from admin. You will give me the vendor list. You will give me the contact list. No, I will not.
Yeah.
She tried to little girl me. And I think that in her life,
bullying.
Because like I said, I do love and respect her, or loved and respected her. I lost a lot of respect after this. But I think what happened was she's never been around another alpha female, because herself is an alpha female.
Yes, ma'am.
And she never had been around somebody who would A, step to her, or B, that she could mold and make her little worker bee.
Exactly.
And so I have opinions. You know that about me. I have opinions, and I say them loud, and I say them proud, and that's it.
Assertive. You know who you are.
And I think when she realized she couldn't stronghold me, or she couldn't control me, that's why she had to take the legal route.
Isn't that like the definition of a narcissist?
Yeah.
Right?
You said it, not me.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
But and I mean, it's... Yeah, everything that has been done since this has all gone down, I've really tried to be so respectful, down to the point where I changed my meeting days so that the women involved wouldn't have to pick who to support.
Exactly.
Like kids in a messy divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could just go to both if they wanted to. Because at the end of the day, not every event and not every networking option or opportunity is going to be for you.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to make people pick. I didn't want to be a pity pick. I didn't want to be, I'm only here because of that. Cool. Yeah. If like you truly don't want to support me, I don't want you in my room.
Yeah.
I don't. Because there are plenty of people that do want to be there, and I don't have energy to waste on you.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, of course, I sent out my message like, hey, this will be that. And I'm doing my own group, and, to some people who I thought I could trust, which there was a lesson in
out
that.
of courtesy and not because you had to. That's
well, right.
Courtesy,
and the reason
right?
that I went to these people is because they were the original girls, the founding members, I call them. And I just kind of pled my case and was just like, this is what happened. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where it started feeling like begging. And I'm not going to beg you to attend my event.
Exactly.
If you want to be there, you'll be there. And if you don't, I'm going to have a great time by myself. Show up or don't.
Let them theory. Right?
And so that happened there. And then because at first, like, I'm the one who, designed this, spearheaded this market, did all these things. And at the end, I was like, okay, it's already at her location. Like we've done the advertising for it since the first one I did in May.
Yeah.
And this one was September. So people they know it's going to be there. I don't want to change that. So I did give her the vendor list. I said, out of respect of you and the vendors, this is the vendor list. Going forward, I will eventually do my own market, which is, now I've changed the vision of that. I want to do the kids market. Yeah. I think there's so many women in adult markets, but not a lot of people support the kids.
Yep.
And so those are the future entrepreneurs. But that's the shift in that. And I even did that. At first I did have a competing market.
Yeah.
I would, and I knew it would have been successful, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make people pick which one to go to. I didn't want the vendors to suffer because they had to pick which one to go to. And the one that's been advertised for months probably would have got more traffic. I didn't want to do that to them, especially because some of these girls, it was their very first market. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I didn't want to ruin that for them. Yeah. So I gave it to her. And no response, no thank you, no whatever. Anyone who approached me and was like, hey, I want to be in the market in September, mm-hmm. I sent them Jamie's information. Yeah. I sent it to her and was like, message her. And I left it at that. And I've been so cordial and so nice, but my nice had a limit and we're reaching it. What really broke it for me, like the straw that broke the camel's back, mm-hmm. was now I'm on to my second meeting. I meet the first Thursday of every month at 6:30 mm-hmm. at the Red Door number 5 in Tampa. And what really, really did it for me was her original meeting. And I know this because we planned them. Yeah. Was like October 8th or something around there. The week after this. Mm-hmm. Well, come to find out, hers is also now the second. I announced mine September 7th. You announced yours sometime last week.
You, listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to repeat it twice for this podcast. Okay. But I want to say this because I've been told this. You are going to attract like-minded people. Yeah. I'm going to say it again. You're going to attract like-minded people. And I think the people who are for you will show up. Yeah. And the people that are for her will show up as well. The date thing, people are going to do the most when you're a threat. Yeah. People are going to do the most when they are intimidated. And I really do think from not knowing the whole story from an outsider's point of view, I don't. Nothing. And I think when it comes down to it, like somebody that, you know, sees it from an outside perspective with what I do know, I think it is a jealousy thing. And I think you intimidate them, truthfully. Yeah. And people are not going to do, we just had a conversation about haters are going to hate, right? And I know it sounds super cliche, but yeah, in order to be hated on, you have to have something to hate on, right? You have to have something going on that they don't have. And I think one of those big things is control, it seems like. And she doesn't have that from you right now because you are your own person. Mm-hmm. And I think although this is like a
beta type of female.
Yeah, no. And I honestly think because you, although this is a painful lesson, it's also going to be a very valuable lesson.
Oh, 100%. For you. It already is.
And I really do think all your aspirations that you have and all your goals and dreams and everything are going to come to play. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, it's going to be that because you are in good terms with everything. You don't hold any bitterness. You don't hold any vendetta. You're not trying to sabotage anybody else's growth. Yeah. And you're still doing you despite all of the things that are coming at you. You know, you're still going strong. And I think that is something a business woman or man or just in general an entrepreneur should have. That despite everything that's against them, you continue going, you continue showing up. And at the end of the day, like-minded people are going to show up for you. They're going to find you. No matter if you still have the founding fathers, the founding women showing up or not.
Yeah, 100%.
You're gonna create your own group of founders with people who are like-minded like you, and you have a very unique mindset. You do in a good way, you know, like you're not just doing it for you when you could selfishly do it for you. You are doing it for you and everybody else around you. Yeah. And that you're not out to like secretly sabotage anybody. Like you want everybody to win. You want everybody to eat, you know?
I mean, there's just no reason not to have everybody be successful. Yep. Like what does you being successful, how does that, if anything, that helps me. Yeah. Like why would that hurt me in any way?
Exactly. And not a lot of people have that mindset, you know, regardless of whatever, like maybe it's something that happened in the past where she has been emotionally like messed up, you know, for whatever situation that happens. And now she maybe thought, that's what was going on with you, that you were trying to sabotage her and she just couldn't put it into words, that she's putting it into actions and not good actions, right? Because that's not a woman supporting another woman. That's the opposite.
What kills me is like originally when I went to her about wanting her to be my mentor and building this group, it was built on collaboration over competition. But isn't that the exact thing that you're doing? You're competing with me right now.
Yeah, that's dictatorship. It's not mentorship.
I literally was like, oh, they can go to both. And you're like, I'm going to make them pick. And you might not have said those words, but by you making it the same day and same time.
Actions speak louder than words, girl.
And then to have people reach out and try and convince me to change my day because your schedule is busier than mine. Well, first of all, that's a crazy assumption. And so,
but you're going out of your way. Like, it shouldn't have to be like that. Like, everybody wins.
Yeah.
And the people who want to show up, you put it out. I do believe, like, let them. If they want to show up for you, they're going to show up for you, right? Yeah. And if they don't, they're not going to. You can put as many advertisements, you can switch your date as much, but if it's always something, they may not want to be there in the first place. Well, but let them, right? Because the people that are gonna support and benefit your vision as well as theirs, they're going to show up. They're not gonna have any other agenda. I really do think, like, us sitting here, we're helping each other out. Right? Yeah. I don't have an agenda to sabotage you after this and say, hey, Natasha, you know what? Like, I'm going to serve you a cease and desist because I didn't like the way you did this, Like, that's high school in a grown-up but not so grown-up way, Yeah. Like, that is like me sending a letter in high school and saying, hey, you know what? You sent a letter to my boyfriend,
a letter in high school is crazy.
Yeah, like, okay. but really, like, that's the vibes it's giving, right? Yeah. Like, somebody that's going to go out of the way, that's childlike behavior is where I'm trying to get at, you know, like that you are an adult bullying, because that's what it is. You're bullying for, again, a lack of a better term, you're bullying somebody.
And the other aspect behind it is, like, back to the collaborative part, this is what kills me. You know that I'm a brand new business. You know that it's not like I've made it, you know? You also know, like, I have a 2-year-old, like, all these things, and you are an international company who's been in business for 5 years. And you're successful, yes.
Yeah.
But you're really going to bully me?
Pick on somebody your own size, man.
Like, you're, and the whole aspect behind it, I think, is because she truly, truly didn't think that I could do it without her.
Yeah.
And, at the same time, too, you said it's going to be a painful, valuable lesson. It is. And the biggest thing I'm taking away from it is the fact that I can prove to myself I didn't need her for this group.
Truthfully.
When I thought I did.
Yeah.
And the only reason I thought I did wasn't for the group aspect. Let me be very clear on that, because people love to take words.
Exactly.
Let me be very clear. I don't ever think that I needed her to make the group successful, but being a brand new business and funds not being exactly where you want them to be, having a venue where you can go to is very helpful. But Lewis and I discussed and we said, you know what? The risk is worth it. And so now we have our own venue. And well, not our own, but our own place to go.
Sometimes all risks aren't like what you expect it to be. Sometimes, they're more hurtful than they're all lessons. Everything is lessons, Truthfully, everything is a lesson, and it's making you more aware and in tune with where you're trying to head.
And what's that? It's like everyone is here so it's like you get blessings or a lesson, and then everyone's here for a reason or a season.
Yes.
And so I think that, and I told you this earlier, I truly think that she closed the door that I would have never been able to close just because of who I am. Like, I'm loyal to a fault. And just because of who I am as a person, I would have never I could have had and created this huge successful operation, but I never would have left you behind.
I have to share this with you because and I have this in my Rolodex of like
Not
photos.
The Rolodex. What are you, 90? My Rolodex.
I want to share this with you because it kind of hits the nail on the head. Have you ever heard the whole, sometimes God is going to rock the boat that you're on? And it's not because he's trying to be malicious or he's trying to be like a bully or anything like that. But sometimes the boat that's rocking, you won't get off of it unless you're pushed. And that's only to see you reach your full potential. And I think that's what happens. And I kind of want to find that. So it says, sometimes God will turn the boat over, and God may force you to move forward, not because he's mean, not because he's trying to make your life miserable, but because he has such a great desire to see you reach your full potential. So he'll stir things up, may even allow a friend to do you wrong, because he knows if he doesn't close that door, you will have never moved ahead. 30 years later, the person would still be dragging you down and keeping you from your destiny. And I keep that to remind myself of like sometimes relationships do go bad and friendships do go bad because there's something else that is like ahead for you, something that person's not meant to see, you know?
Well, and it goes back to that sometimes God hears conversations that you didn't.
Exactly. I love that. Lewis didn't get to finish that when we were in here, but it's true, you know, like always, like it's just true, you know. Sometimes you're not supposed to be a part of that conversation or vice versa. That person's not supposed to be about a part of that conversation, you know, but it's true. Seriously.
Speaking of being a mom, I get like the text at the daycare, even though like Lewis is the one there. I'm like, oh, I love this message. An incident occurred.
Wonderful.
So I was listening, but I texted Lewis. I was like, what incident occurred? Because of course he didn't tell me. Yeah. Because I looked at the time. It was like 12:30. They sent me that, which was 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard from him. So I was like, did you go deal with the incident?
Are you like listening?
And he was like, how did you know? I'm like, I get the text.
I'm everywhere. I have access to the cameras.
I have eyes everywhere.
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
But anyway, yay.
Yeah. Props to being a mom. Like those are the thrills of being a mom.
But yeah, I think that just everything that we have gone through from start to finish, from business to personal, from trials to setbacks, I think one of the biggest things that for me is to look at a setback as a setup. And that's just because so often you can let something pull you back or hold you back. But failures can truthfully propel you further than some successes.
Yeah.
Because it might give you drive. It might give you a reason. It might give you the light that fire under you to go do better. And that's what this did for me. And so I just have to look at it that way.
Yeah. There's two roads that a person can go, you know, and I always tell Abraham this, and I kind of apply it to my everyday, you know, like you could think of that setback and go down that road and like have pity on yourself and like throw a pity party and like say, oh my gosh, everything's out to get me, or use it, like you said, to light that fire and like be better. Right? Put yourself in the place that people never thought you could amount to. And so it's true. Like you could choose to be successful with that lesson, or you can choose to stay stuck in the same place and not do anything with it.
Well, and the other part about that is like misery loves company. So if you choose the first option, now not only are you miserable, so everybody
else around you is going to be miserable, and it's not
good for anybody.
Nobody,
and
honestly.
So that is where we are with that.
Yeah,
but I wanted to. You touched on it in the beginning of what your business is, and with the sippers and the teas, and so I just wanted to touch on that again before we wrap up and just talk about how people can support Laura and how people can support Sippers.
Yeah, so start by everybody grab your phone.
Right? They'll be in the car
socials,
listening.
like socials, put your car in park and then get on your phone. But yeah, right now I'm currently operating on Instagram, right? Like putting everything out there, working on Facebook, but there's so many things, so many pages that you handle, so many everything, but Sippers_Florida. That's where I would say to follow for any updates, any new flavors that are coming out. I am starting to do pop-ups and get myself out there a little bit more, doing more connections as well, and getting uncomfortable with everything because I want to be home running my business, being with my family. Like I've had a bit of that and it's amazing, but it's just offering healthier options for kids, not just adults.
Yeah.
In every kind of stage of life that you're in, even if you're not looking to fully go like to lose weight or anything, just a healthier option for you to get your protein in or your energy, a much cleaner source of energy. And then offer it in coffees and protein donuts and teas. Started doing vendors events and offering to kids more often because I forgot myself. I'm not just catering to adults, I'm catering to kids as well. And Abraham's like a walking little advertisement for me,
100%.
like he's in school hustling and saying, hey, we own this business, like come, like follow, subscribe, follow us, and it's just, he's my biggest, like my husband, Jeremy, and Abraham are my biggest like partners, and I couldn't be more thankful. But yeah. What was the question? What was the question again?
How can we support Laura and Sippers?
Yeah,
but, you touched on
share,
it.
Follow, share,
so
purchase.
You heard it. Follow her, like her,
purchase,
share her,
stop your car, put it in park, and like give us that follow. I'm hoping to start operating throughout the entire day. Right now it's just evenings because I have a full-time job too. But on the weekends we're open all day when we're not recording podcasts.
And I did just want to say too, like when you are supporting, you aren't just supporting Sippers. You're supporting Laura. You're supporting her kids. You're supporting her husband. Exactly. A woman mompreneur-owned business.
How do you say that again? Mompreneur. I was in the car and I'm like, how do you say this? ChatGPT, tell me how.
Leave that man alone.
Mompreneur. Like, yeah, you're right. You're supporting my family. It's a livelihood, like just supporting me, my family, my husband, my dreams, honestly, my hopes
it's so much more than just supporting just a business.
It's
or it's so much more than just a drink.
Exactly. It's a mom's dream, like it's somewhere where I didn't think after 4 kids, being married, living the life, something I would be able to do, and I'm doing it, right? And
Sippers fuels you, but you're going to fuel Laura's dreams. Heard that?
Say that again. Say it for the mic. Say it for the people that did not hear.
I said Sippers fuels you.
Lewis, close up.
But you are fueling Laura's dreams.
Period. She couldn't have said it better. Here, you wear this hat. No, you wear this hat. But no, it's true, honestly. And I could say that for any small business. You're not just supporting the person behind it. You're supporting everybody that's behind them.
It's not a corporation.
Yeah.
Like Walmart.
Exactly. Like
the other ones.
I will greet you, and I will also say, have a good day. It's not a Walmart.
But yeah, I mean, that's really the most important thing is marketing at any point in time. And really I just want to thank you for being so real today. And like, I always love our conversations on the mic and off the mic. Like it just
productive, real. And I think everybody needs to have someone like that in their life to be able to have real, unfiltered conversations and not have to think leaving the conversation you're going to use it and like abuse it, right? Because there are very few real people that will come into your life, and it's not to sabotage you at all. You know, like I feel like our relationship is pushing each other to like win, really. And we have kids and a husband and a life and goals and jobs and everything, you know, but regardless of the amount of time that we talk, when we do link up and actually talk, it's how can we get each other ahead? You know, I'm thinking of you because I want to push you to be better, right? And I think every friendship, every relationship should be like that. And if you don't, reevaluate your friend list, right? It's time for a purge or something. But seriously, like you should always have somebody that, I don't think it should be somebody seeing the potential in you and then watering you and then trying to take that potential away or dim your potential. I just fully believe it should be pushing
at that point, it's grooming, right? Like you just want to groom so you can win.
Yes, and so that's exactly how I would put it, you know? And I just think it should be genuine, you know? Like I am a friend to you because I want to see you win. You know, I don't want to see you stuck in the same place a year from now. And if you do, that's your choice. But I want to be surrounded by people who are successful and people who are going to push me to be successful is truly the friendships and relationships that I'm looking for. And if you don't fit that, then, you know, don't be in my life, right? Respectfully. Don't cancel me.
Look, she's the nice one. If you don't fit in that move.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. But I'll be the bite to the bark. Exactly. We'll say it that way.
Yes.
Because
respectfully. Don't cancel us. Thank you.
Look, if I said that after everything I said, it would just, I need a button. Because I got a lot of things I say that people don't like.
Exactly. And I just think, you know, they're just caught in their ways and are not open to changing. And the people who get offended by it, and you may not agree with everything that we're saying or may not agree with everything that I think, but if you take one thing out of it and become better, well, then we both won.
And that's why
right?
my whole tagline is the Natasha Effect, changing perspectives one conversation at a time.
Exactly.
Because truthfully, even if it is just one thing, and you know, I'll wrap it up with that. Like the takeaways from today would just even be, from my notes, would be setbacks aren't stop signs. They're setups.
Yes.
Sabotage is just proof that you are too powerful to ignore. And then when someone tries to block your lane, and this comes into pivoting, you don't have to park the car, just change lanes.
Exactly.
And
the power of pivot.
And keep driving.
Yep.
And so that is pretty much what I would say. If you had to wrap up everything we talked about today, those would be the top 3.
Exactly. Oh, and never sit at a table where people are just bringing their plate, you know?
Oh, I did forget
never sit at a table. Oh, and another one. When a person shows you who they are, listen. When a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Really. You know, because not a lot of people are who you think they are. You never know who you're in a room with. Exactly. You know, like always place yourself with who you know, at least like-minded people.
Same goals, same mission, same values, ethics, morals.
Yeah, and we're all here to win, man.
If you all have a same solid foundation, there's no reason that
we're all here to win. At the end of the day, at least I want to see people win around me. I want to win myself, you know.
Well, there's enough sad, terrible things in the world. Like, I can hope for success.
Yeah, exactly.
And
don't
want
be one
to
of those sad, terrible things, you know? Like, don't be a bully. Like, be supportive. Like, it doesn't take much, right? Be real. Don't be mean. Be kind.
That's the last one. Don't be mean.
Don't be mean. That's the last one. Period.
Well, thanks for joining us, Laura.
No, thank you for having me.
Anything else that you want to share before we go?
Follow, like, and purchase from Sippers. support Sippers.
In case you didn't hear us the first time. But until next time, bye.
Bye.